What is up, everybody? It is Vincent, your big Pro Wrestle Talk YouTube heavyweight champion, back for the first time in what feels like forever. It feels like I haven't seen you guys since the summer, which is true. That's exactly what's happened. I've been a busy boy. You guys know. I'm a college student. It's been one since day one on this channel. So, with that being said, that's going to make a change to a little bit of how these videos are going to be rolling here. So I plan on hopefully getting a video out once a month. I just kind of wanted to break that through, let you all know that. This is going to be the month for September. Yeah, September. I'm sorry, I had to look at my watch to make sure it's September. That's how much I've lost track of time. So, yes, it is September. And you know what that means. The September video is here. And the video that I'm going to be doing today is every single WWE champion and who I think should be the one to take the titles off of every single champion, including NXT. Let's jump into this. All right, to start off, we have I made a whole video about this, got like 1 point something K views, and yeah, I did that. Roman Reigns is the undisputed champion. We did talk about this on who I think should be the one to beat him. However, my opinion has changed since then, I think anyway.
This is the person who I fully in my heart should be the number one person to take those titles off of Roman Reigns.
I think I said Jey Uso is the number one choice.
Jey Uso.
But I don't know, man. Looking back, and how the story aligns, I feel like it has to be Cody. It has to be Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes didn't win at WrestleMania this past year. And I don't know who else could do it other than Cody Rhodes. Maybe Jey Uso, but the thing is, I don't know. We never found out who was traded to SmackDown when this whole Jey Uso to Raw thing happened, and I think Cody can hit us with that, hey, you remember that trade? We never said who it was, so it's me, surprise Sade, So that's who I think, personally, is going to be beating Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship. It'll be Cody Rhodes. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I'm sorry, I kind of hit the microphone there, but that's what I think is going to happen over the course of the time here with Roman Reigns. Next up, we have the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And who I think this is the very obvious choice. No, I'm joking. Shinsuke is not going to win that world title anytime soon. I do think he will win it, but just not now. Later down the line, maybe. But I don't think right now is his time. I do think he is very well deserving of a world title match. I think he's well deserved. He's earned a world title run, in my opinion. But also Dolph Ziggler did, and he is released now. So, yeah, I think that Damian Priest is going to successfully cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Seth Rollins. There is the argument that you can say, it's going to be Damian Priest cashing in on whoever beats Roman. This is how I think that they should do that, though. They should have Cody Rhodes or whoever's going to beat Roman, and then right after, Damian Priest comes in with that briefcase and he ruins the moment. I'm telling you. Now, when that happens in a few months or a year or so, I'm going to revert back to this video and I'm going to be like, I said it first! But that'll be besides the point. But yes, I do think that Damian Priest is going to be the one to take the World Heavyweight Championship off of Seth freaking Rollins. Next up, we have the Intercontinental Champion, Gunther. I think greatest title reign going right now. I will say that. I think it's a lot better than Roman's because Gunther's actually defending the title and showing up on TV on a weekly basis. So yeah, already better than Roman Reigns' title reign. And he's now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. And who I think is what everybody else thinks. Chad Gable. Chad Gable has earned the Intercontinental Championship. I don't see anybody else but Chad Gable taking that championship title from Gunther. And if Gunther gets fired after that, if he goes to the Indies, whatever, he can go back to being Walter. I don't know. Because I really think that when Gunther loses that title, I really think that should be when he either takes time off for a couple years even, but he should just take time off. Not for a couple months, maybe a year, but I do think that he should have a time off, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's who I think is going to be beating Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Next up is the United States Champion, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, I forgot he was the U.S. champion. I forgot that Austin Theory was the U.S. champion, if I'm being honest with you. Ever since Theory moved to SmackDown, and they brought in the World Heavyweight title, and then the U.S. titles is just right back where it was before there was the Undisputed Championship. It makes no sense. I feel like it's just a title to have because they have it and it's there. I feel like it has as much significance to my title in the WWE, but this is like the most prestigious prize in YouTube entertainment. So that's not the point. This is my title. My title. But yeah, who I think should beat Rey Mysterio for this title, for the United States title, not this one, the United States title, should be his son. It should be Dominic. The stars are aligning. They can have have Rey hold the title all the way to WrestleMania again next year. Then WrestleMania 40 in Philly. Have it, that'll be fantastic to have that pop for a heel Dominic Mysterio defeating his father and making him retire. I think that is where the story is with Dominic and Rey Mysterio's story, because I know for a there's not a shadow of a doubt there is that story is not over whatsoever, and it's going to be Dominic Mysterio who beats Rey Mysterio in a title unification match nonetheless. But we'll talk about that a little later. Next up are the tag team champions in the Judgment Day. I think it's pretty cool that they gave them the tag titles. I feel like this is Vince McMahon kind of being like, oh, you want a title? Yeah, here. I think the Judgment Day is like the modern day Evolution. And that's just me. You can disagree with me all you want. It's my opinion. But I think like you have the greatest stars currently, like Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic. I think they are definitely on the rise to being the greatest of all time. Rhea Ripley especially. Dominic is getting there because look at that heel heat. He is the best heel in wrestling right now. But you could, I know everybody be like, oh, MJF this, MJF that. He's a baby face in AEW right now. Whether you want to say it or not, I'm sure everybody can agree, he's a baby face right now. There's no going against that, but that's besides the point. We're not talking about AEW. We're talking about WWE Championships. AEW will be another video, probably down the line. Maybe the next video. Maybe I'll get that one done in a week. Who knows? But, yes, Judgment Day. I just realized I only have something for the SmackDown tag titles because I do think that they are going to split the tag titles here down the line, and they'll call them the World and the WWE tag titles like they did back in 2000 whenever they brought in the SmackDown and Raw titles in London and Kendrick, Miz and Morrison, that era. Ruthless Aggression era. That's what it is. But yeah, I firmly believe that it will be for SmackDown, it'll be Pretty Deadly. That is for sure. As soon as whichever one, I don't know their names. All I know is that they're Pretty Deadly, and they're going to be stars. There's no doubt in my mind. I saw this vignette for that they had, I think it's Elton Prince. I don't know, but whoever it is, the one that's hurt, and they did the whole thing with the knees, even though it's a separated shoulder. That is great. That is entertainment. I think that's fantastic. But yes, I do think that Pretty Deadly is going to win the SmackDown tag team titles or the WWE tag titles, or whatever they're going to call them. Maybe the Undisputed tag titles, because they just like to slap the word Undisputed on a title and make it seem like, I don't even know. But yeah, I do think that it's going to be Pretty Deadly for SmackDown. And for Raw, I'm trying to think of who's even on Raw. I got to give it to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens if they're going to do a rematch for that. But I don't know, because there's not really a whole lot of top tier teams like that. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think of the Raw division that they have right now, and I think to myself who's on Raw? They have the New Day, I think, right? Viking Raiders. They had Riddle, but he got fired. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. Put me and my best friend in the ring and we'll take those titles off the Judgment Day. I don't know. But I'm sorry, that made me chuckle. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say about the tag team, because I feel like there's not enough chemistry. No, I don't. There's not a lot of teams. Either split the belts up or just make them one, and then make the tag team division just one roster. I feel like that's what they do in now technically, but they still have the 2 separate belts for the tag titles. I don't know, but that's just me. That's how I'm thinking about it. So next up, we are moving on to the women's titles. So first up, we have the women's world champion in Rhea Bloody Ripley. And I just realized I did not put anybody for her. But I can tell you who it's not going to be, and that's Nia Jax, because for some reason, she's back! For some reason! Tell me one reason why she's back. It doesn't make sense to me. She was hurt. As soon as because I didn't watch Raw that night. I was out doing stuff for school. But I remember seeing on Instagram and stuff like that, I was seeing she's back, and I was like, you remember my Royal Rumble reaction?
No! No! Why are you here? No!
You remember that? Yeah. That's my reaction to her coming back on Monday Night Raw. I do not like Rhea Ripley. If there's 2 women's wrestlers I despise and I genuinely change the channel when they go on my screen, it's not Rhea Ripley. I love Rhea Ripley. It's Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax. They solved half of my problem by firing her back in 2020, whatever. But now she's back. And then they made budget cuts again after the TKO merger. But so it's a whole thing. It's the whole thing. But yeah, who I think should beat Rhea Ripley is Raquel Rodriguez. I do think that the stars are aligning for that. I think that she should definitely, get that title at some point. I don't know if she'll be the one to beat Rhea, but I do think she definitely deserves that championship title. And Raquel Rodriguez. Next up, who we have here is going to be the undisputed women's champion. I don't know. It says it on the belt, but it's not the undisputed women's title. Io Sky is the champion. I know you're assuming for me to say Asuka or something, right? No. I know this is going to contradict everything that I just said. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, I do think should win the title because, now hear me out. Jade Cargill. It says that there's the rumors that she's going to WWE. Put her in the title picture right away. Put her up against Charlotte Flair for that title. That's a banger of a match right there, right in your hands. I mean, that'll be the only instance I will allow Charlotte Flair to be the champion, or even on my screen, is that she's facing Jade Cargill, the dream match that everybody's been wanting since Jade Cargill showed up in AEW. But now she's not with AEW. She is potentially with the World Wrestling Entertainment, TKO. I genuinely think Charlotte Flair should be the one to take the title off of Io Sky for that reason alone. No other reason. If Charlotte Flair just wins it and then she goes to face Nia Jax or something, I am not going to watch SmackDown or whatever channel that belt is going to be on. I will not watch Fox. I will not watch the USA Network when it moves to there in October next year. I'm telling you, I hate Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax. And Charlotte Flair knows that I don't like her too. Here's a screenshot of not a conversation, but when she returned, I put the Michael Scott no God please no thing, and she responded to it. She thought it was funny, or she put the heart hands, whatever it was. But all I know is she knows I don't like her, and she didn't block me or anything, so I think that's pretty funny. I don't even follow her. Maybe I don't think, but yeah, I don't follow her. But yeah, that's who I think is going to beat Io Sky. And if not either of those two, Bayley. If Bayley doesn't, oh well, that's okay. But yeah, that's who I think is going to beat. There's 2 possibilities there, 3: Charlotte, Jade, or Bayley. Doesn't matter. Pick one. As long as the Charlotte Flair leads to Jade Cargill. Okay. Next up would be the women's tag team champions in Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Chelsea. I love when Samantha Irvine does that. I think that's what her name is. Yeah, I think she's personally the greatest ring announcer of all time. I'm sorry, Tony Chimmel and Lillian Garcia and Justin Roberts. Like, she's blowing you guys out of the water. I mean, Howard Finkel. Never mind. R.I.P. Fink. R.I.P. Fink. But yeah, I do think that's the case there. So, who I think is going to beat them are the ones that beat. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green who beat them for the undisputed tag titles now. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And let me just say that promo that they had where they finally said that they put a curse on the tag titles, like that is perfect. Like they're like I understand it's based because of a very unfortunate situation, Sonya Deville getting hurt, but they put the curse on the tag titles. Nia Jax comes back and destroys the tag team division or whatever, like Braun Strowman did when he showed up in WWE, like when he returned. But yeah, I do think that it'll be Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and if not, I genuinely do not know because I cannot think of any other tag team in the WWE that's a women's tag team. Because like they just fired Alea. Sure, who else was fired? Any other women's wrestler? I don't remember. I know they had some NXT firings like Quincy Elliott, but I know it's not a women's wrestler. But hey, it's 2023. You want to wrestle in the women's division? It's up to you. Now we're moving on. Speaking of NXT, moving on to the NXT brand. And I just kind of wanted to start off with the NXT Heritage Cup because I don't think that it should just be won or lost. I think it should be retired. I totally get the concept. They want to keep it going, but unless they're going to get NXT Europe going here soon, I don't see any reason in keeping the NXT Heritage Cup. So I just say I literally have here nobody. It retires. Next, we have the NXT Women's Champion, which is for some reason Becky Lynch. I do think it's cool, but I don't think she needed it. I don't think that Becky Lynch needed the NXT Women's title. I understand they probably want to boost some views on NXT, but I don't think that's the way to go. I guess because it's working obviously because Becky brought some views in. So, but who I think should beat Becky is Roxanne Perez. I think they should just have a match on NXT or something, or at No Mercy or whoever, and just have, or even Tiffany Stratton. There's the two possibilities. I think Roxanne Perez or Tiffany Stratton. Two both fantastic competitors, but yeah, that's all I can say on that. It's going to be one of those two. Next, we have the North American Champion, Dominic Mysterio. I told you I'd talk about this later with the title unification. I do think that they should do a title unification of the two if they decide to keep the Heritage Cup and just make it into an actual championship. But they should put Dominic over on Ray and then have Dominic retire the North American Championship or just relinquish it. And who I think should win that title? Brian Pillman Jr., if he ever decides to show up on NXT television. I love Brian Pillman Jr. I love his work. I do know that everybody's talking about how he showed up at the Performance Center, I'm pretty sure. I do think that he will be a star, an absolute star in the WWE. I don't know what he'd go under because I'm pretty sure the WWE name, they don't want to do Brian Pillman anything because I'm pretty sure WWE doesn't even own the name Brian Pillman anymore. But yeah, that's what I think on that. Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be the one to win the North American Championship if you want to go based off of like an NXT breakout tournament and like the winner gets the North American title, I guess. I don't even know. But yeah, that's who I think, Brian Pillman Jr. No matter if it's like Dominic relinquishes the title, retires the title, whatever. I do think that Brian Pillman Jr. should be the one to come in and take the title irregardless. And finally, the NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes. Whoo, boy. Y'all aren't going to like this, but I will. I will for sure. Who I think should beat Carmelo Hayes for the NXT championship is the Colossus Omos. Why? Because look at him. He hasn't been on main roster television in so long. Baron Corbin made the jump to NXT. And I understand Omos is a free agent when it comes to the main roster. So I can see him showing up in NXT and taking the NXT championship off of Carmelo Hayes. Why not? You know, really if you want to make Omos look good, if you want to make him look strong, this is the guy to do it with. Carmelo Hayes I know, he will make Omos look good. And it'll make Omos that unstoppable force that I know he can be. Because you guys can say what you want about Omos. I think he is a potential star. Think of the Big Show. I don't want to say the Great Khali because we all know how the Great Khali turned out. But look at the Big Show. Hall of Fame career, more heel turns and babyface turns than, I don't even know. I think it's like more than the Queen's years of life. I don't even know. But I can see Omos coming in to NXT and absolutely destroying Carmelo Hayes while making Carmelo Hayes look good, because I've had that full potential. That Carmelo Hayes, I know he says Melo don't miss, but I think against the Colossus Omos, he would miss. MVP would say that same thing. And and they can do that thing where MVP is like, I like you, Carmelo, I really do. Like they can do a whole thing with that. There's a whole story within that story. But that's just me. That's who I think should beat Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship. All right, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. The NXT champions and the main roster champions. That's who I think everybody should be beaten. That's who I think everybody, that's pretty much that. So I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, BPWT_network right now. No, I don't even want you to go finish. Go to the Instagram and follow it right now. Do it. Also, like I said at the beginning of the video, there's going to be videos, there's definitely going to be videos once a month, starting today with this one. And the big Pro Wrestle Talk YouTube heavyweight champion is here forever. He's going to stay. Nobody is going to take this title off of me at all, no matter what. It can be in a ring. It can be out of a ring. It could be in WWE 2K. I'm open for all challengers. So if you're looking for a little bit of a battle and anything, the Big Pro Wrestle Talk champ, he's a defending champ. He's been the champ for almost 2 years now. And that's pretty much all I got here. Big Pro Wrestle Talk champ, never losing his title. Big Pro Wrestle Talk champ, out.